Welcome back. This is week 3. We're going to be talking on HTML tables. And what we want you to note here is that HTML tables is one of the most important parts of web designing. What does HTML tables carry? Why do we call it HTML table? Why is it that it's very important to whatever we do in designing a web page? If you don't get anything from the previous classes, I think you should try and listen to this and get this very well, because it's going to help you in web designing. One of the things that we should note, we know that the HTML tables comes with a tag called table, the elements, it could be the width, it could be the style. These are the elements. Remember? um, these are the elements that helps you to design the HTML tables. Oh, it can be the style, but we're not going to be defining the elements now. These are the element attributes or attributes. Remember? And then you have to be able to close the table here. Can you see we start the table here? We start the table here and we'll close it here. And all the things that is inside, always note that this comes with the table. The TR, this is a table row, and you close the TR. This means you are closing with the backslash. Then the TD, the table cell, TD, that caters for the table cells. TD, we could have another TD. That means table data. TD means table data. And that's what gives the opportunity to be able to write something down. You close it and you close it. Now, what I just did here, this table I just designed here, this is how it looks like. The table. Let's say I wrote 400 pixels here. That means the width is 400. From here to this place is 400. And from here to here, let me say, well, maybe now let's open up this table. Let's say the height. But mostly people don't write the height. They don't do all this. They just allow it to flow down. The height is 200. Then the table cell, the table row, that means this row. This is all table row. If you have another table row, it could be like this. But now in this table that was designed here, this table that we designed here is the same thing as one row. This is row 1, this is row 2. If I have it coming down like this, but we don't have it like that, because we only have one TR and close, the closing of table row at the bottom. So I'm going to close it. I'm going to delete this because it's not part of it, of what was designed up here. And then we're going to close it here, and then this is just only one table row. This is not there. And we have, let's say this is Bola. We wrote Bola here, and everything here is going to be Bola. So, oh sorry, there's something that we need to note here. We have a table row here and we have a table row here. The table row, that means we have two table, we have a table data here, we have a table data here. That means we have table data 1 and table data 2. What this means is that we have 2 columns, so we're going to divide this into 2. So if I now write Bola here, that means this is going to be containing Bola. And I write Shola here, this is going to be containing Shola, where aligned. If I show you this website now, you can see that this is the website I've been talking about. This is the one that you've been interacting with. you realize that this is in a table. All what you're looking at here is in a table. This is the table data. This is sitting in the table data. All this here is sitting in the table data. This is sitting in the table data, but you won't see it. So table data is very important to whatever we do in HTML. And in writing table data, we have a table row, and inside the table row we have table is very important to whatever we do in HTML. And in writing table, we need to write the table row, and inside the table row we have a table data. So another thing we need to consider when developing an HTML is I'm going to be increasing this table data, table row, to have two table rows. We have a table row here, but remind you, whenever you have two table rows, you must have TD inside, which is the table data. Table data is where you can write your information, you can store your information. Remember, in your information that you can store could be text, could be pictures, could be videos, could be audios, anything. You can put it here, and you can even write a list, which we're going to be talking about in subsequently, before we end this class, end this week's class. So we also can have a table row here. That means we are having two table rows now. Table row here, and which contains a table data, and you close the table data. For every table row you have, you must have a table data. Else, the application will not be well formed. The HTML will not be well formed. So this is very important to whatever you do in designing HTML web page. Another thing you need to know is inside the table data, you can have all the tags that we've been talking about. Mostly, when people design applications like that, they put all the applications in a table so that it can be well aligned. With HTML5, what they do is that they mix it up with a table row and table data and div. And sometimes you can decide not to use a table row or table data and just use div. But we are not going to be talking about that now. So this is the basic elements that you have to take note of in your table. And another thing that you need to know is that you can give this thickness. You can give the table a thickness. Everything inside the thickness. A particular width. All you just need to do is simple. The border line must be increased to border must be increased to 1. 1 means that the thickness of the border. But mostly, if you don't want, but people will see that you've already designed a table here. But if you don't want that, you just write 0, or you make it by default. It's 0. You don't write it at all. You just leave it like this. Okay, I'm going to be showing you a sample of a table, and we're going to be noting all these the content in the table and be looking through on how can we use this for our own website. We're going to be giving you an assignment, and we will expect you to make use of a table inside your website to align everything you're going to be doing in your website. And also that by the end of this lessons, we're going to also be giving you a project which you are going to be making use of tables. So we need you to note this very well. So I'm going to just I'm just going to quickly show you a table, a sample of a table design page, which you can note. If you look at this, one of the major ways to write website is this using of table. Can you see this? And the width. The width that is in percentage shows that it should cover every space of the body. Remember? Body. All the content of HTML sits in the body. The table follows. Then the width should cover all the space of the screen of the body. Are they in the body? Are they in this? If we can have it, I'm going to be writing some set of HTML very soon, so that you note what you're able to understand what I'm saying now. The 100% means that cover everything. The border is 0. That means don't show the border at all. This is a table row. This is the table row. This is the table data, and this is the table data. Can you see that inside the table data we now have an heading? That means that is the beginning of the page. The table data colors, one of the elements of the table data is column span. That means it does not want to show the column. There are 2 columns there, but it does not want to show it. It wants to just let me explain what I mean by that. Let me go back to the class. Take for instance our table data is like this. What this means is that on a good day, okay, slash table closed, that table is closed, we have, I'm trying to find a way of explaining this to you so that it can be clear to you. TR, TD, TD close, TD again, TD close, then TR close. Okay, now we have like 2 table data inside it, but the one below it, because it's within the same table, has only one table data. The HTML is not going to be well formed. So what we need to do is that, remember we say Shola, and we have Bola and Shola. Below it, you have only one table data, so it's going to look like this. But there's nothing going to be here. This is not well formed. What we need to do is, if we only need one column under this, and we don't want it to divide it into 2, what we can do is that expand this boundary and expand it here. Expand it to this level, and don't give me any column inside here. This is well formed. and the only way we can do that is by just what we can do is that we can change our table data. We can add a particular features to our table data by saying colon span, because this is 1 2, we say is equals to 2, we close it, td and tr, we close this out also. This means that expand this colon span to 2 and make this table to be well formed. That's what the colon span is, and that's what they're talking about here. 2, and give you the background. This is the background attributes, elements, and these are the element attributes, and write this inside it. Then this is another table. Can you see? Align, bring it up. That means you should bring whatever content inside it up. Don't send, this is centralized. When you bring it up, it comes here. Bola, then Shola. What this does is that it makes your HTML to be well formed. That is V align. We have horizontal align attribute also, and that is horizontal align attribute is that let it align properly in the middle. That's the same thing as when we write align. By default, that's what it's gonna do. By the time you download your Dreamweaver, I hope you've done that Weaver application or your Notepad plus, you should be able to do all this. Dreamweaver will help you more. Dreamweaver will help you more. You can get that from Adobe Adobe domain name, adobe.com, to be more precise. Look for Dreamweaver, or you can just go to Computer Village in Ikeja or Otigba, but that's if you are in Nigeria. But you can always download it from adobe.com. Okay, so let's go back to our HTML. Can you see the TD and TD close? These are content inside it. Remember, we talked about all these make it bold tags. This is a bold tag, and this is a break. This is break. This is another break, and this is what text. These are attributes. These are all tags, and this is another row. It can go on and on and on and on and that like that. So we can do a lot of things with HTML tables. A lot of things with HTML. Okay. So the last part that we're going to be talking about on tables is well, there's still a lot of things that you need to read up on tables. Is the background format. Let's say that we want to put background inside this table, a picture that we have on our URL. What we can do is by coming over here and putting it as part of our attributes in the table. After defining everything, we just close this and say background, and we'll put the URL inside here. So thank you. This is for tables for now. We're going to be going into other parts of the week's lesson subsequently. Just watch the video and do your assignment. Thank you.